What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to KTM Sports Nation. I am your host, Kevin Tyler McGuinness, and I'm glad to be back with you guys. Man, what an exciting week it's been of sports. NBA final clinching New York Knicks and a Game 7 tomorrow night between the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the return of Conor McGregor. McGregor is back, July 11th, International Fight Week, and I'm so excited to see him back in action. It's been a long 5 years, but the notorious one is back. The king of the UFC is back. The king of the pay-per-views for the UFC is back. I'm so excited that he's back. I just want to thank you guys for joining on TikTok. Thanks for joining on TikTok. Appreciate you guys joining on TikTok and YouTube. Please share the live. I appreciate it. I can't wait to get into it about McGregor's return and the Knicks and what's going to happen in the Western Conference Finals because I'm just excited to see what happens with the rest of the way for the NBA playoffs. But first, I have a video for you. Hit it!
Surprise, surprise! The king is back! Yeah! I'm him! I'm right here! Let's go!
So McGregor's back, baby. Conor McGregor is back. First time since 2021, he will be facing Max Holloway. They fought about 13 years ago. I can't believe it's been 13 years already. 2013 was their last fight. It's hard to believe that they're doing it again after 13 years. A lot of people doubted that Conor McGregor would never come back. I never doubted it. I knew he would come back because that's where he made all his money, and that's just where he's from. That's what he is. He's a fighter. I'm so glad that he's coming back. It's been a long 5 years. Everybody knows that watches the UFC. He snapped his leg in 2021 against Dustin Poirier. His shin bone snapped totally in half when he stepped back, and it totally just snapped. But he's back. 5 years. I mean, there's been a lot of. He should have been back already, but speculation and pictures of him breaking his toe against Michael for the Michael Chandler fight. So that fight never happened after the Ultimate Fighter back in 2024. But it is what it is. McGregor's back, and he's going right for one of the top guys in the UFC, Max Holloway. This guy has fought with the best of the best: Alexander Volkanovski, Ilya Poirier, Dustin Poirier. This guy just absolutely versed the best of the best. Dustin Poirier was an interim lightweight champion. Ilya Poirier was a lightweight champion. He got knocked out by Ilya Poirier, and he's fought Justin Gaethje, which I think is definitely the greatest knockout that has ever happened. Is in UFC 300 last second. That Holloway knockout versus Justin Gaethje was one of the most insane knockouts. To me, is the greatest knockout in the history of the UFC, besides McGregor and Aldo in 13 seconds. So those two, greatest knockouts. Now they're versing each other 13 years later. We all know what happened if you watched the UFC back in the day 13 years ago. McGregor won via decision against Max Holloway, 3-round fight. It's hard to believe that it was their start of their careers, and now the way their careers ended up being, it's just absolutely crazy that they're fighting again. All the tickets have sold out, too, for UFC 329 between these two. July 11th, the best event for the UFC International Fight Week. Seeing these two battle it out again after 13 years is insane. A lot of people that I know doubted that McGregor would ever come back and are still doubting that he will come back. But all I'm seeing from him on his social media is training videos and locking in to fight Max Holloway. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see him come back. It's been a long 5 years. He's been just doing his own thing, recovering at first, and then just doing his own thing, making business, making money and everything. He's the greatest entertainer and the greatest superstar the UFC's ever had. So it's exciting to see them fight each other. I mean, it's just exciting to see McGregor come back, because even people that don't watch the UFC and are casual fans, they know who Conor McGregor is. I mean, you could just base it off the fight with Floyd Mayweather if you don't watch the UFC. I mean, he fought Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor is probably, I think, is the second most watched event in the history of boxing. Number one is Floyd and Pacquiao, which was in Las Vegas too. I mean, everything happens in Las Vegas. So this fight is happening in Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena. Seeing them come back, seeing McGregor come back and fighting Max Holloway in the same arena where he snapped his legs 5 years ago, it's got to be crazy for him. But the way McGregor is, he loves to prove a point, and he loves to show everybody that he's still got it and is the best of the best. So I'm hoping he does. He's a major underdog, though. He's a plus 390, which is insane. I mean, if you're willing to bet on him, and you're willing to put a big bag down, you will get a bigger bag, because McGregor will, if he wins, it's a huge underdog, especially after 5 years. It's not surprising seeing him as the underdog in this fight. He hasn't fought in so long, so I mean, and Max Holloway's fought the best of the best. But prime McGregor, I mean, it's just woulda, shoulda, coulda, but I'm hoping that he's saying that he's back better than ever. I mean, it's hard to say that even if I'm a fan of him, because 5 years not being in the octagon is a long time not fighting. I want to see him do it again. I want to see him prove the world that he is still able to fight in a UFC octagon in mixed martial arts against the best of the best. And one of the best of the best is Max Holloway. That's what it is. Max Holloway is a former BMF champion, featherweight champion. He's just an absolute, but he's the best boxer in the UFC. Max Holloway is the best boxer in the UFC, besides names like Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier and Ilya Poirier. Max Holloway's right up there with the best of the best. It would be great to see if McGregor could beat him, but it's going to be a tall task. I mean, I would love to see it. Like I said, McGregor in the past, when he was consistently fighting, former featherweight champion, lightweight champion, the first ever UFC fighter to be a two-time division champion. It's exciting to see. Yeah, I'm very excited to see him get back in the octagon. Max Holloway's also got his own track record, a former featherweight champion of the world, BMF champion, and is constantly active in this sport. Just constantly, always showing up and fighting people. Like I said, Volkanovski, Ilya Poirier, two of the best fighters in the UFC ever, too, I believe. I think Volkanovski is arguably, besides with Jose Aldo, the greatest featherweight fighter ever. Ilya Poirier is making his way to becoming one of the best of all time. If not, he already is. By becoming a two-division champion himself, featherweight and lightweight, just like Conor. And the funny thing is, Ilya Poirier was spoken about. They spoke about this fight, and somebody asked him, "What does he think about it?" And he thinks that if Conor McGregor shows up, that he could be the guy to fight Ilya Poirier in the future. So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. I mean, I'm excited. If that was to happen, that would be the greatest. That would be probably the greatest fight in the history of the UFC. Besides Conor and Khabib, I would think Conor and Ilya Poirier. If Conor manages to pull off an absolutely remarkable comeback story win against Max Holloway, that would be insane. I could see him calling him out, though, because that's who he is. He wants the best of the best. He never says no to a challenge. He's only backed out of one fight, and it's because of a stupid toe injury that he had. So I'm excited to see Conor McGregor come back. The Mac is back, baby. I'm excited to see it. This is going to be a 5-round fight, main event. So it's going to be a real test for Conor. 5 years, 38, going to be 38 years old. He's 37. He will be 38 after this fight. 5 years of not being in the octagon. It's going to be a major obstacle, but he's saying that he could do it, and I'm hoping that he would. As a fan of him, as long as I've been watching this sport, he's always been my favorite. But it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to see him. It's going to be hard if he pulls this off. It's going to be absolutely insane. I'm hoping he does, but it won't be no easy task against Max Holloway. But I just want to say thank you guys for joining on TikTok still and YouTube. Appreciate it. Please share the live. I'm excited to see what's going to happen when it comes to these two. I mean, these guys are just two of the best to ever step foot in the octagon. Like I said, two champs, um, two of the greatest entertaining fighters in the UFC. Um, I'm excited to see the press conference because nobody talks trash better than Conor McGregor on any mic in any fighting sport press conference. Nobody comes close to Conor McGregor's mic presence. That's what made him the star that he is just saying that he could beat people in the round one. He was Mystic Mac for a reason, predicting things, and he did it. He totally just did it. He just, when he said he was going to beat you in the first round, he did it many times. Jose Aldo, he was in that guy's head the whole entire time in 2016. Totally just in his head. He went into Brazil in his hometown and saying he's going to just totally destroy him. And just throughout that whole world press conference, going from Brazil to Ireland to the United States, Jose Aldo was just, didn't know what to do with himself because McGregor was in his head and had the greatest knockout, besides Max Holloway in the history of the UFC in 13 seconds. So I'm excited to see what happens when it comes to these two fighting again. It's going to be amazing. I hope that Conor McGregor comes out and shows out that he is still one of the best in the UFC. I believe this could be a win or retire fight for him because if he totally bombs, he's going to get totally torn apart. So I hope that he comes out and totally, shows that he's still one of the best, obviously. But if he is sluggish and gets knocked out, there's a good chance that, he might retire from the UFC and, it'll be a bad look. 5 years of build up and waiting on the sidelines and then coming back and getting knocked out by one of the best knockout artists and boxers in the UFC. It will not be a good look. And, it could cause him to retire, but hopefully not. As a fan, I would want him to see him come out and show that he's still one of the best. The question is, what's next? If Conor wins this fight, does he get a title shot? Does he get Ilya Poirier? Does he call out his arch rival's cousin? Islam Makhachev. Will Islam Makhachev be the next guy? Anything could happen with this guy because he's such a big star and he's the biggest draw for this company that if he beats Max Holloway, they'll give him whatever he wants, I believe. Because, 5 years, you don't understand. 5 years of being on the sideline and fight and coming back and just wanting to fight one of the best fighters in the UFC, Max Holloway, and for him to be a minus 400, 500 favorite against him, that is a major underdog for him. And it's just the whole, everything against him. And if he comes back and beats Max Holloway, it's going to be an absolute insane moment for the UFC. And it's just going to be, insane. I don't know what Dana's going to do. I think he's going to have to give him what he wants. Because Dana and Conor have been friends for years. They always work together great. And I believe if Conor knocks out Max Holloway, it's hard not to give him a title shot because, he's versing one of the best, Max Holloway. And, if you're versing one of the best, I believe if he knocks him out in the first round or if second round or whatever, he deserves a title shot because a 5-year layoff and then coming back and beating one of the guys who are the most active fighters in the UFC, it's going to be insane. I would love to see it, but it's no easy task. Holloway is known for pushing like an incredible pace in his fights. The question is, like I said though, I think the only way McGregor could win is if it's a knockout because the question is because he's 5 years of not fighting and 5-minute 5-round main event fights. His cardio will it give out? He's never been in a fight like this in many, many years, and that's going to be the biggest question. Can he keep up with the pace of Max Holloway? I think McGregor's going to have to knock him out because it's going to be tough going into the later rounds. I mean, unless his cardio it just stays there. Um, my bet, the only way Conor McGregor wins this fight is if he totally knocks him out. Um, but the other thing is, McGregor also has only 5 takedowns in his whole career in the UFC. 4 of them were against Max Holloway. So, and Max Holloway cannot defend any submissions or takedowns. So it's going to be crazy to see how this fight plans out. I mean, Holloway was horrible against Charles Oliveira in the BMF fight. Everybody was saying how boring it was because, you know, Max Holloway could not defend Charles Oliveira's takedowns. And McGregor's got some takedown ability. He's got some wrestling in him. And if he wants to use that against Max Holloway, he could win that fight. He could win this fight that way too. Um, you know, I'm just saying that, Holloway cannot defend submissions or takedowns. So if McGregor wants to use that form of arsenal that he has, I mean, he did stuff Khabib a couple of times before eventually getting choked out in the 4th round. Khabib's one of the greatest wrestlers in the history of the UFC. So for him, you know, if he wants to use that against Max Holloway, he could. He could. So, I mean, like I said, McGregor could either win by knockout or he could use his wrestling because Max Holloway cannot wrestle. He was terrible against Charles Oliveira. The question is, how long is this fight going to go? And if McGregor's cardio could stay, and if he doesn't get knocked out, obviously, because Max Holloway could knock him out because he is an amazing boxer. The UFC needs McGregor more than ever, too, because no fighter generates headlines, ticket sales, or social media engagement, or even when there was pay-per-views at the time before Paramount Plus was in the picture and now signed this deal with the UFC. Nobody has ever drawn this much attention to a sport, to mixed martial arts or fighting like Conor McGregor. It's like I said, the tickets already sold out within a day. They went out yesterday and the tickets already sold out. I mean, an average price for resale on this ticket for to see him is like $1,500 to $2,000. I mean, it's insane that this guy 5 years later, it just shows that he is still the biggest draw in the UFC. Nobody comes close. He's just the biggest fighter the UFC has ever had, and nobody comes close to him. I don't think we'll ever see anything like this in the sport ever again because the guy just constantly always draws attention, and he could just post whatever and he gets millions of likes, and the guy is always just going to be the biggest draw for the sport. I don't think we'll ever see anything like it. Between his mic presence and what he said earlier in his career of knocking people out and just showing up when he did and just always wanting the best, he's just the best thing this sport has ever had. So I mean, they need him now more than ever because besides the Strickland and Khamzat UFC 328 fight that just happened, Newark, New Jersey, there hasn't been anything else that's been really exciting for the UFC. Besides the January card. Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje, when Justin Gaethje beat Paddy Pimblett. That was a great fight. Paddy Pimblett, I don't know how he didn't get knocked out because Justin Gaethje brought it to him. But it's crazy. It's crazy that Paddy Pimblett survived that fight, but Justin Gaethje won by decision easily, unanimously. He was the best fighter in that fight. But other than the McGregor and Holloway fight, this card is absolutely stacked. It's stacked with, the co-main event, you got Benoit Saint Denis versus Paddy Pimblett. I mean, Paddy Pimblett making his return since that fight against Justin Gaethje. And then you got Gable Stevenson making his debut in the UFC. And you got Robert Whittaker on this card in the prelims. He's in the prelims. And that's how stacked this card is. I mean, you got fight after fight after fight after fight on this card. That is just a constant, just absolute banger. This card is absolutely insane and stacked with absolutely unbelievable fights. And to cap it off, you have the best superstar in the UFC fighting on this night. So I'm excited to see him come back Hopefully he wins, and I believe he gets a title shot if he wins. But yeah, so that I'm excited to see the return of Conor McGregor. So tomorrow night we have the Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Spurs dominated last night in a big 118-91 victory in Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals, with the 118 to 191 to tie the series 3-3. Um it's gonna be insane. Game 7 in Oklahoma City. Victor Wembanyama, 28 points and 10 rebounds. Uh, the Spurs were absolutely great the whole entire night. They led from start to finish and completely shut down OKC's offense. Um, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the guy is a flopping machine. I don't care what anybody says. The guy just flops nonstop. Just look all over social media how many videos there is about this guy just flopping and just throwing his hands in the air and saying, I got fouled. He's just a fairy, my opinion. Um, I know he got the MVP. He's a great player, but he's just a crybaby when it comes to always wanting fouls. And the refs give it to him. I don't know why the refs give this guy so many freaking calls, and they're not fouls, some of them. It's ridiculous. I'm hoping San Antonio beats them for the Knicks case, though, obviously, because I think the Knicks have a better chance. I mean, the Knicks are unbelievable right now, but I think the Knicks have an easier path to winning a championship against San Antonio. I would love to see, San Antonio versus the Knicks, because I don't want to see this whole refs battle in the NBA championship, the finals between the Knicks and the Thunder, because I'm just worried that the refs are going to always call, something on the Knicks for foul, always a foul on them when it comes to versing the Thunder, and then Thunder just getting every call that they want. So I'd rather see the Spurs win. But it's not going to be easy going into Oklahoma City. The Spurs, they're having a hard time winning in Oklahoma City. They won the one game, game 1 in Oklahoma City. I mean, I would love for them to win Game 7 and knock out this team, because I'm just tired of all the calls they could get. Question is, can Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, can they respond? Can they respond in games, the biggest game of his career? Game 7. Game 7 is the biggest game of anybody in the NBA's career. It's just an absolute legacy moment for any type of player in the NBA playoffs. Or will Wembanyama deliver another sensational, legendary playoff performance with such a young San Antonio Spurs team? It's amazing how good this team is, this young. Can they go to the NBA Finals with this young team? And Wembanyama, I mean, I believe he should have got the MVP, because all around, when I think about most valuable player, I think about defense, I think about offense, I think about who's just more pivotal to your team. I just think if San Antonio didn't have this guy, they would not be where they are, because this guy is absolutely the leader of his team and just sensational. He's just been great every single game of this, NBA playoffs for them. The guy is an absolute beast. He's a freak. He's like 7'4" or whatever, and he just shoots from half court and he makes it. We've never seen a player that's this good, this tall, and just 7'4", be able to shoot from half court, dribble, drive to the basket, pull up. The guy is absolutely unbelievable. The only other person that I could consider that was even close to his height, and he's not that height, is Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant was like he's unbelievable too, and he's a little bit shorter than him. But Wembanyama, he's a center, and this guy is freaking pulling up from half court and shooting half court shots and just totally like making them like nothing. And he's driving to the basket, fade away, posting up, dunking on people. He just does everything for this team and is just the best player on the court, in my opinion, this whole series against Oklahoma City Thunder. The Spurs absolutely annihilated them the last game. Can they do it in Game 7? The biggest game of the series. I mean, this is a huge game when it comes to NBA players' careers. I want to see San Antonio close it out for the Knicks case. It's not going to be an easy task, so we'll see when it comes to that. The series is tied 3-3. Game 7, the biggest game of any series in the postseason of any sport, my opinion. In baseball, basketball, in hockey, Game 7 is the biggest game and the most pivotal game in any series in all of sports. So to see these two battle it out, the two best players in the NBA, besides Jalen Brunson, in my opinion, um, it's amazing to see a Game 7. This is probably the most exciting Game 7 in years. It just is two of the best players in basketball fighting for that one win to take their team to the NBA Finals and to bring a championship to their franchise. This is the first time since 2018 that we've had a Game 7 in the Western Conference Finals. That's how long it's been since we've had a competitive Western Conference Finals. It's been years since we've seen two teams battle it out like this in the Western Conference Finals in a 3-3. It's been a long, long time. But Game 7, this is going to be, I'm excited to see it. Hopefully San Antonio pulls it out. If Oklahoma City is the overall better team with the bench players they have in the starting lineup and just being the defending champions, they could very easily beat them Game 7 at home. But I'm hoping San Antonio, who is the underdog at home at this game, I hope they pull it off. But it's not going to be an easy task. But the team that is waiting for them on the way to the NBA Finals is my New York Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Go New York. Go New York. Go. I'm excited to see them come back after 27 years. I have never seen the Knicks in a championship. 27 years it's been since the Knicks have been in the NBA Finals. This is the first time since being in the NBA Finals since 1999, sweeping the Cleveland Cavaliers 4-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. They dominated Cleveland. They won with the last game, Game 4, 130-93. That is an absolute annihilation. And the Knicks have won 11 straight playoff games. They are absolutely just hot. They're torching people left and right. They're just absolutely getting it done. They're just getting it done. The Knicks are just on the best team in the postseason, my opinion. They just are winning all the time. This is the first time. There's two teams that have won 11 straight playoff games, and they won the championship. These two teams is the Boston Celtics 2024 and the Golden State Warriors in 2017. So the last two teams to win 11 straight or more than that playoff games won the NBA championship. So I'm hoping the Knicks do it. You know how insane the New York area is going to be if the Knicks win the championship. Look at them now. They're going absolutely insane in the streets, winning. This is the most exciting time to be a New York Knicks fan. I'm excited because I love the Knicks and I'm a Knicks fan. And, it's just amazing the Knicks being this good after it's been so long. It's been always just a disappointment with this team over the years, coming up short and missing the playoffs. But I only got one name to say the reason why the Knicks are where they are. I mean, they have a great team, don't get me wrong. But the only reason I believe they're in this situation and the reason why they're just in the running to win a championship is only because of one guy, Jalen Brunson. He's just the absolute force of the New York team. He is the Eastern Conference Finals MVP too. He's clearly deserved it. Karl Anthony Towns, another reason, his front court presence and the way he stepped up on defense this year has been absolutely sensational. I'm hoping that we could win a championship. I mean, it would be absolutely unbelievable. It would be the first time a New York team in any sport has won a championship since the 2012 New York Giants against the New England Patriots. So that is 14 years of no championships in New York. It's a long time. If you're in New York, that is a long time without a championship. Because every year when you play for a New York team, you're expected to win a championship or at least get to a championship. So this is a very good chance for the New York Knicks to win a championship in New York. The Garden is going to be rocking every single time they play in this finals at home. The Knicks have been a great away team too. The fans have traveled. They've traveled to these away games, and they've just been absolutely alive. I mean, they just taken away the whole home crowd of every team that they versed. I mean, you just hear the Knicks fans all the time. They're just annihilating. They're playing like it's an absolute home game every time they go to these away teams. I mean, when they went to Cleveland, felt like it was a home game. They totally mopped them off the floor. Sweep. 76ers in Philadelphia, mopped them 4-0. I mean, they had a little struggle in the beginning against Atlanta in the first round. They were down 2-1, and then they just totally turned around, and the fans traveled there, and they showed up, and it was like a home game, and they just took care of business. Um, the Knicks have a great chance to win a championship. It'll be their first championship since 1973. So that is like, what is that, 50 plus years without a championship? It's a long time. Um, It'd be great to see the Knicks make it. I would love it for it to happen. They're waiting for the winner, like I said, of Oklahoma City and San Antonio. Um, I mean, who would love to see that matchup? Brunson versus Wembanyama. I mean, what an insane matchup that is going to be. Everybody wants to see it. I could guarantee all of America wants to see Brunson versus Wembanyama and not against Shy, because everybody's so tired of the flopping of the Oklahoma City Thunder players that it's just getting out of control. This is the greatest Knicks team since the Patrick Ewing era. I don't think there's ever been this good of a team ever in my lifetime. So I would say this is the best team since they've been to the championship. Um, Patrick Ewing and John Starks, they've been showing up to every game, and I'm sure they're very excited with this team's doing, and I really believe that this is a good opportunity. I think they could definitely win a championship this year, and bring a championship to New York. I mean, it's been 50 plus years. It's time now to win a championship for the New York Knicks. Because the Brooklyn Nets are definitely not doing it. They suck. So, I mean, they're just horrible. So, I'm hoping Jalen Brunson continues to do his thing. I'm hoping Karl Anthony Towns continues to do his thing. Josh Hart has been amazing. Deuce McBride has been amazing. These guys have just been showing up and showing out every single game for this team. The shooting has been absolutely unbelievable. Landry Shamet went 11 for 12 the other day, game 4 against Cleveland. He did not miss a shot from 3. I mean, he missed one, but it looked like he did not miss a shot. He was that good. Jalen Brunson has been phenomenal, like I said. Just everybody, OG Anunoby, nobody talks about him enough. He's just an absolute force on the defensive end and the forefront of the defensive end. He just got selected as second all-defensive player of the year team in the NBA. So congrats to OG Anunoby for getting that. Jalen Brunson, is the main reason, though. When the game is on the line and the ball is in his hands, he's clutch. That's why he is called Captain Clutch, and he is just absolutely always consistent for this team every single time they're on the court. Nobody comes close to the way he's just been. He's just been absolutely unbelievable for the New York Knicks. I've never seen a player this clutch for us in the postseason in my lifetime. I mean, Melo originally was my guy in New York, but Brunson definitely is taking the spot. I mean, taking his team to the championship. I mean, I think if he wins the championship, he is the greatest Knick ever, easily. I think he's the best Knick to ever step foot on the court for a New York Knick, and if he brings a championship, I believe it's sealed. He will be the greatest Knick to ever put on a New York Knick uniform. 50 plus years of not winning a championship, and to win a championship, and to put up the numbers that he puts up, 27 points per game, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. every single night for the Knicks and to bring a championship. Like I said, he's the best Knick to ever wear a jersey for the New York Knicks. Um, Karl Anthony Towns has been great. Josh Hart's been great. It's just the grit of this team and just the presence of the defense and just playing as a collective unit every single night. It's just awesome to see. Um, I just want to see the Knicks versus the Spurs because I do not want to see the Thunder. Even though it won't be easy versus San Antonio either because San Antonio is a very, very good team. I rather versus Oklahoma City because the Knicks, I think, have a better chance against the San Antonio Spurs because I believe the refs are on the side of the Oklahoma City Thunder. These calls that they get is absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, if you just look up Thunder's calls, foul calls, and the refs calls that they give these guys, that these give this Shy Alexander and they give to like Chet and Caleb, Jalen Williams, and like these guys, it's like ridiculous. I'm sick of seeing it. I'm done. I just don't want them. I want them to lose because I do not want it to go into the finals and ruin the chances with these calls that they get and ruin the chances of the Knicks winning a championship. So I hope it doesn't happen. But like I said, if the Knicks win the championship, this is the greatest team, I believe, in the history of the franchise. And I believe, that Jalen Brunson will be the greatest Knick of all time. So what do you guys think? Thank you guys for joining TikTok and YouTube. Appreciate the support as always. But I believe this is the year for the Knicks. I think this is it. I think the Knicks have a very strong chance to win the championship this year. They're just so hot. 11 straight wins. Constantly, just always just playing with heart, Josh Hart, and just the heart of the team every single night, just showing up, showing out, playing with everything that they got. I think the Knicks have a real strong possibility of bringing a championship back home. So what do you guys think? Do you think the New York Knicks can win the championship this year? And do you think that they could beat San Antonio? Do you think they could beat Oklahoma City? Doesn't matter who they verse because they're just on a roll. I mean, who do you want to see the Knicks verse? Oklahoma City or the San Antonio Spurs? I mean, I'd rather see the San Antonio Spurs, but I guess we'll see. What do you guys think? Thanks for joining on TikTok. Hope the Knicks do it, but it's not gonna be easy because the West. I don't know. The West has always just been a tough force. It's been constantly teams most of the time from the West winning championships recently, like Golden State, like the Lakers, like the Thunder. There's just haven't been too many Eastern Conference teams. And first of all, my team, the Knicks, haven't won a championship in so long. It's time to win a championship. So what do you guys think? Thank you for joining on TikTok. Share the live. Please share the live. I just think the Knicks have a good chance. And do you think, like I said, Conor McGregor, will he win a champion? Will he win his fight against Max Holloway? And will the win over Max Holloway get him a title fight with either Ilya Topuria or Islam Makhachev? I mean, can you imagine the build-up if he was to beat Max Holloway and verse Islam Makhachev after all the bad blood that they've had, between, Khabib and Conor, and, is the greatest. That was the greatest build-up in the history of the UFC. Nothing even comes close to that. I hope to see it happen. I really hope to see it happen. him beating Max Holloway, but I mean, I guess we'll see. It's a big what if, but I think Conor could definitely do it. Do it. I mean, he has the power still. Even Dustin Poirier, the guy that he snapped his leg against, he came out and said that he could he could beat him. He could beat Max Holloway because the power is still there, and it only takes one punch in this sport to knock somebody out. It takes one kick. I mean, can you imagine if Conor McGregor, if it wasn't his fist, can you imagine with the leg that he snapped 5 years ago? He uses that same leg to kick and knock out Max Holloway. That would be absolutely insane. In the same arena that he, snapped his leg in. It would be one of the biggest moments in the history of the UFC. Probably the greatest knockout because just the stardom that he has and just being the greatest superstar, um, knocking out Max Holloway like that after 5 years, it will be one of the biggest, craziest comeback stories ever in the history of the UFC. 5 years is a long time not fighting. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see it. I hope he comes back and wins. It's going to be a crazy, crazy build-up like it always is with Adam Conor McGregor fight or press conference. It's just that's the way it is. The biggest star in the history of the sport, and this sport needs him right now because, to be honest with you, there's not too many people that are drawing fans like he is now. Besides, like people like I said, Ilya Topuria, you know, Islam Makhachev. Even though Islam is kind of boring to me because that Dagestanian wrestling style, they just don't box. They just wrestle the whole entire time. It's just so boring to watch. Um, I hope to see it. I hope to see Conor McGregor win. We'll see what happens. Um, Thank you guys for joining on TikTok still. Share the live, please. Appreciate the support. It's going to be an exciting week. I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow night in basketball between the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's going to be some fight. I mean, it's going to be some amazing. It's going to be an amazing game to watch between those two. We'll see what happens, but I'm excited most of all of Conor McGregor coming back. Always supported him. I've always wanted to see him come back and win. Part of me doubted it for a minute because I just didn't think, part of me didn't think that he wouldn't come back because of the ankle snapping and just having so much money. The guy is a millionaire. He just doesn't need a fight anymore. And just for him to have the willpower and the fire to come back and still want to fight, I respect him because he doesn't need to because he's got everything. And just to have the, ambition and just wanting to fight still and still want to prove to the world that he's still one of the best in this sport. I mean, he deserves the respect. And hopefully he does it. It would be absolutely insane. But like I said, I just want to thank you guys for joining TikTok and YouTube. I mean, I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow, and I can't wait to see who the Knicks play because no matter what, whether it's the Thunder or the Spurs, they still got to come out and show out and win. Doesn't matter who they verse. They have to win. I'm excited to see who Conor McGregor comes back, and I'm excited to see him fight. I'm excited to see. Hopefully he wins. It's going to be insane. Everybody's going to be watching the fight. If you're a fighting fan, you're going to be watching him fight. That's the way it is. He's the biggest draw for a reason. UFC White House is in 2 weeks. I'm going to Washington, D.C. to see it. I'm excited for that. You got Ilya Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. Main event of the White House, UFC Freedom 250. And then you got the co-main event, Alex Pereira versus Ciryl Gane. Two amazing fights. Got Sugar Sean O'Malley on that card. You got so many different, amazing fighters that are on this card. I'm excited to go and see it. It's going to be an amazing thing to see. Just seeing that in person and watching that fight. I'm excited to see it. Um, but like I said, appreciate you guys, all the support and everything. I appreciate you guys joining on TikTok. Please share the live. Um, I'm excited to see what happens when it comes to upcoming events, when it comes to NBA championships, the UFC, and what the future holds for the New York Knicks. And if they win a championship, it would be absolutely insane. So I just want to thank you guys for joining, and I'm excited, to be back next week, because next week me and my brother will be on for the FIFA World Cup predictions and what we have to say when it comes to who will win the World Cup. Hopefully Argentina. We're both in agreement when it comes to Argentina, because we're Argentinian and we love Messi. They have a strong chance, but Spain has a strong chance. Portugal has a strong chance, and you can never, even if Neymar is not 100% and can't play for the World Cup, Brazil always has a shot. They always have a chance. England is strong. There's so many strong teams in the FIFA World Cup. So that's a little preview of what's next week is the FIFA World Cup. And I'm excited to see the World Cup, man. It's my favorite sport. Soccer has always been my favorite sport. Football, actually, it's the real name, even though American football took it. That's the real name. I'm excited to see even the United States soccer team. I want to see Christian Pulisic do amazing things for the national team. Um, I'm excited for the World Cup. I think Argentina has a strong chance to repeat. It would be absolutely insane to see Argentina versus Portugal, Ronaldo versus Messi in the quarterfinal. If they finish top of their groups, they both play each other in the quarterfinal. Do you realize how big that is? Ronaldo versus Messi, the final time ever in the World Cup. I mean, that's going to be an absolute insane thing to watch. I mean, July 11th is stacked. I mean, you got 2 World Cup quarterfinals, and you got McGregor fighting. And in that quarterfinal, like I just said, you have Ronaldo and Messi. And if they verse, do you realize how insane that is? You have Messi versus Ronaldo. Then you have McGregor and Holloway at right after that. It's just amazing. That's an amazing sporting night to watch. I'm excited for the World Cup. It's in the United States. MetLife Stadium is the final. It's insane that it's right in the backyard of where I live. MetLife Stadium, New Jersey, New York, whatever. It's right here. It's gonna be exciting. I want Argentina to win it. Next week I'll be representing with my jersey, Argentina jersey, and I hope that they win the World Cup. It won't be easy because there's so many good teams. So I'm excited to see what happens for the World Cup, and I hope, Argentina wins it. So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. But I just want to thank you guys for joining. I appreciate all you guys joining on TikTok, all the support tonight. I mean, appreciate it, really. YouTube, please subscribe, like, comment, share. Everything you could do on social media, do it. Let's just spread the word. Next week is going to be a great show. FIFA World Cup. It's all about the World Cup next week. Thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.